What's up, guys? It's Techno Viking 23 coming to you this morning with some Destiny, and it is Friday, which means Zur is back in the tower with his items and things and whatnot. So we're gonna go take a look and see what Zur has this week, see if he's got anything worth purchasing. I've got 94 strange coins, so got quite a bit of currency to use, but I doubt I will be. I'm trying to save my strange coins for House of Wolves so that I can buy any of the new exotics Zur happens to offer pretty early on. So if you're looking for Zur, he is down here by the Crucible Handler, by Lord Shax, and by the Crucible Vendor, so he's just hanging out over here. So let's see what Zur has brought this week. Alright, so it's not great, not terrible. At this point, really, unless you guys are just brand new and just bought the game like a couple weeks ago, you should probably have a good collection of exotics going and have been able to take advantage of Zur so far. So there's really not much he's going to bring at this point that is going to be spectacular. He's had Icebreaker a few times now. He's had Surge Regime a few times. He's had the Last Word a few times. He's had a lot of the better exotics a couple of times now. So there's really not much left that he has to offer. But let's take a look at what he's got this week. So, starting off for the Titans, you have the Mark 44 Stand-Asides. Strength of 127. You can carry more ammo for heavy weapons and increase the duration of Shoulder Charge when it remains active. Shoulder Charge is normally only active for a few seconds before you can use it. This gives you a couple more seconds on which you can activate it. Now, these are, in my opinion, strictly a PvP only exotic. As are the Hunter ones as well. The only two leg exotics in the game are the Hunter and the Titan boots, and they're really mainly just for PvP. It is nice to have more ammo for heavy weapons, but if you're a Titan, you're going to want to be using Ruin Wings or the Armamentarium for heavy weapon ammo capacity and heavy weapon ammo in general. Shoulder Charge is useful, very useful in PvP if you're playing a Striker Titan, so that may entice you a little bit. But just personally to me, I'd rather use Armamentarium and have 2 grenades, use 2 lightning grenades or 2 sticky grenades, or, there's just a lot better exotics to use in my opinion. Now, some people like these and they look pretty cool, but I would definitely pass on these unless you're just strictly wanting to complete your exotic collection. Moving on to the Hunter, you have the Crest of Alpha Lupi, and you have Strength of 126 on these as well. As in just general with most of the Alpha Lupi ones, you can revive teammates faster and spawn more orbs, carry more ammo for special weapons, and carry more ammo for hand cannons. This is actually a pretty decent chess piece for hunters, especially if you use a hand cannon. This is a great chess piece for like skirmish mode and PvP, since you can revive teammates. Plus you can carry more ammo for hand cannons, so if you're like most hunters and you're running with Thorn or Last Word, that can be really helpful. As I always say though, with the Hunter, usually your helmets are going to be the better exotics for PvE and PvP. This is still, if you're, like I said, if you're a new player and you don't have many Hunter exotics, you can't really, go wrong with this. It's pretty decent for PvP, especially if you're doing a lot of strikes, if you have to revive teammates. And plus, Hunters do have a problem generating orbs, at least in my opinion. They have some of the worst orb generating supers in the game, so being able to spawn more orbs with your Golden Gun or your Arc Blade is definitely a bonus. More ammo for special weapons is always good, and like I said, if you're using a hand cannon like Last Word or Thorn, this can be a pretty decent exotic. But again, you want to prioritize the helmets with the Hunters because those just do so much more in terms of like the Acolophage Symbiote, Mask of the Third Man, even the Knucklehead Radar in PvP. You've got a lot better options there for your exotic helmets with the Hunter. But still, this is a pretty decent chess piece. It's not a must-buy, but if you don't have anything for a Hunter, you definitely can't go wrong picking this up. Alright, moving on to the Warlock, you have the Skull of Dire Ahamkara. And I'm actually on my Warlock, so we can take a look at this. This is actually one of the better looking exotics in the game, I think. It's like, you've got like a dragon skull, kind of like on your head. It's pretty cool looking. This has got a intellect roll of 114, so increases the cooldown of Radiance. You've got energy projection, increase your grenade throw distance, which, it's an okay perk, it's not great. You've got Quintessence Transfer, replenish super energy when you kill an enemy with a grenade. That's not too bad. And then you've got Delusions of Grandeur. You take reduced damage while using your Nova Bomb. Your Siphon abilities are also improved, so that helps like energy drain. And when you use the Nova Bomb, like when you go into the animation, if somebody's like shooting at you, you won't be taking as much damage, which can be useful in PvP. But overall, this is not really a great exotic helm, other than looking very cool. I would pass on this. There are much better Warlock exotics out there, so definitely not a must-buy. Even if you don't have a Warlock exotic, there's much better helmets you can purchase besides this, so I would pass on this. Alright, moving on to the weapon, we have the Mida Multi-Tool. Now, I actually got this in a drop last week from the Cryptarch, so I've been using it. I really do like this weapon. If you are a scout rifle fan, I would definitely suggest grabbing this if you don't have it already. It's very good. I just like it in general. It handles very well, which is one of the things I really like about it. It's very easy to use. It's got a nice wide open scope. You got a couple different options here. You got soft ballistics. You've got CQB ballistics, smart drift control, third eye, which is a great perk for PvP. I even like this perk in PvE because a lot of the times if you're running some endgame strikes or whatnot, it's easy to get flanked by enemies if you're just paying attention to what's in front of you, and that can kind of help you out sometimes. With your middle tree, you've got lightweight, you have quick draw, and you have field scout. So decent middle tree there. It's not too bad. Then you've got Mida Multi-Tool, weapon boosts movement speed and fires on a hair trigger. So you can fire this weapon incredibly fast and you move around a little bit more quickly. It doesn't really seem like a great perk setup overall, but it's just a very solid weapon. You see that the reload speed is pretty much maxed out on this. I'll show you guys mine so far. I've been using it. Got it equipped here. And I've been using quick draw. Field Scout will take you up to 27 rounds, which isn't too bad. But this thing reloads so fast, I tend not to worry too much about Field Scout. But overall, it's a very solid weapon. It fires very quickly. It's not a very high impact scout rifle, but you can put so much ammo on target really quick that you can take a lot of things out pretty fast. And it actually is one of the more viable scout rifles for PvP. Most of the scout rifles in PvP are not very useful, at least not to me, mainly because the fire rate is so slow and a lot of the maps are not really designed for long-range engagements. So having those faster firing scout rifles definitely helps, and Mida Multi-Tool is definitely in that category, and you can do very well with this in PvP. So if you don't have this, guys, I would suggest picking it up, especially if you're a scout rifle fan. I think you'll like it. Plus, it's kind of fun just to use. It's a lot different than some of the other exotics, so it's kind of fun to use. But I would suggest picking this up. Like I said, if you don't have it, it's definitely a pretty decent weapon you can use. All right, moving on. He does have an exotic shard as usual. I believe he is still going to sell these when the House of Wolves comes out, but other than that, it looked like in the Reef reveal, they're really trying to take a lot of stuff away from Xur, so he's not going to have too much of this stuff anymore. And then exotic engram, he's got the chest engram again. I'm again going to have to try to grind for this to try to get Heart of Praxic Fire, which is like the last really exotic I really want to get in terms of armor. I tried to get it last week when he had it, but he gave me Starfire Protocol, so still trying to get that Heart of Praxic Fire. The one week he had it, of course, I didn't have the coins. Alright, moving on to his upgrades this week, you have the Acolophage Symbiote. You have the Mask of the Third Man for the Hunter. These are both excellent exotics. Upgrade them if you need to. Helm of Saint 14 for Titans. Again, excellent exotic. Upgrade it if you haven't already. You've got Helm of Inmost Light. Pretty good exotic for the Striker class if you haven't upgraded it. Light Beyond Nemesis for the Warlock. And Heart of the Praxic Fire. There it is. That's the one that I want. Moving on to weapon upgrades, he has Suros Regime, Mida Multi-Tool, Thorn, Infective, Universal Remote, and Patience in Time. So some decent weapons there. And then moving on to his curios, he has the Auto Rifle Telemetry, the Shotgun Telemetry, and the Machine Gun Telemetry. Now if you guys are watching the Reef reveal, you guys know that now the Gunsmith is actually going to be carrying these once House of Wolves comes out, along with the Ammo Synthesis. So again, Xur, they're kind of taking your job, buddy. It seems like they're trying to phase you out a little bit, man. You might want to negotiate your contract with Bungie a little bit better. And then he's got the Plasma Drive and the Emerald Coil, so you can get a green or a blue contrail on your Sparrow. And then last but not least, again, he's got the Heavy Ammo Synthesis, which I believe they've patched Xur, so he is always going to have this, so no one should have a shortage of heavy ammo anymore. But overall, guys, that is Xur for this week. Not a great week for armor. Like I said, hunters, you may want to pick up that chest piece if you're looking for an exotic. It's really good for skirmish if you play a lot of skirmish in PvP. And then the Mida Multi-Tool, I think, is definitely worth a look if you don't have a scout rifle, if you're not, if you don't have that exotic, or if you're just a scout rifle fan in general. I would definitely suggest grabbing that. And then also the chest engram if you're still looking for something like Heart of Praxic Fire or the Armamentarium. That's definitely a great one to grab and pick up that engram. So anyways, guys, that is it for Xur today. looks like pretty okay. Not really a great week for him. Like I said, at this point in the game, Zer's pretty much been around for a long time now, so he's not really going to have a whole lot of stuff that you're going to probably want unless you're a brand new player to the game. But that's pretty much it, guys, for this video. Stay tuned. We'll be putting out a couple videos this weekend, hopefully. Hope you guys are having a great Friday so far. Thanks for stopping by and watching, and I will see you again next time.